Salutations, Huz. Now, are the boys of Viagra? I like to see that Viagra girl too. What's happened to her? Did they? How many trials did they have to do on the Viagra boys and girls until only the Viagra boys survived? It was tragic. Anyways, it's like the Hulk. They hit him with Viagra rays of Viagra radiation, and it's this to and anyways, are they slop? We're gonna figure out. We're gonna look at what is slop. Then we're going to look at how do we detect slop. And then third is going to be how much of their catalog is slop. And then fourth is, are they even talented? And then fifth, finally, we're going to figure out, are you and other people going to consider them slop or not? And if not, then what are you going to consider them? And what are other people going to consider them? So let's, without further ado, let's get into it, right into it. Okay, right into it. Anyways, so here we have the music matrix to tell us what is slop, right? Slop is anything that's less than we have catchiness here and energy here. Anything less than seven in terms of catchiness, if you're not a fan of the genre, is going to be called slop, right? If you hate low energy garbage or high energy garbage or whatever your predisposition is going to be, right? Whatever. If you don't like low energy stuff and it's not that catchy and it's indie, you're going to call it indie and you're going to call it slop. That's what we're going to call it, right? If you can't stand super high energy music, especially if it's not catchy, you're going to call it metal and you're going to call it slop, right? So that's kind of the idea. If it's less than 7 in catchiness, people are either going to call it the genre name or slop, and probably both. Now, how do we detect this lack? Energy is easy to detect, right? You can just listen to it and go, oh my God, do I have energy, or am I chill? I'm laid back, Dad. Like, that's pretty obvious, right? The catchiness, we got to figure out what's a way. Can Connor not break it? Welcome to 848th episode of Can Connor Not Break It? Like, can you seriously just not break it? Like, what is up with you, dude? Oh my God, we're not even going to, like, the country club anymore. I'm literally moving to New Jersey so I can, like, sleep with a rapper named Flapperhead. Anyways, predictability is going to be our biggest way. Catchiness is comprised of a lot of things, but the way to easily get a good gauge is based off of predictability. If something's too corny, like a Joe Bonamassa song, or too incoherent, like a Mars Volta song, it ends up being unintelligible slop or just complete garbage. Either way, it's slop, right? It's in the slop zone. We have catchiness up here. We have predictability down here. This gives us an indicator, right? If it's something that's balanced or zany, right, it's in this money shot zone. It has a chance of being still slop, a chance of being something that's for fans of that genre or fans of that band, but not really everyone else, and stuff that could be for everyone, pretty much, or just a smash hit. Now, I think the problem with Viagra Boys is they, not the problem, but I think potentially their weakness is they can do things that are zany and coherent, but then also be way predictable. Maybe not corny, but really predictable because they just repeat it and let the thing go on so long that now it's like super predictable because it never changes and it's incoherent. So it ends up on average being kind of a mix between incoherent and corny. So that can be getting you into trouble zone, but they tend to navigate it. And that's really what we're going to talk about is how often do they actually manage to balance it in such a way that they don't get slop. And how often do they end up making it slop? Now, what's the ratio? This is the ratio. This is the catalog on it. We're going to look at the slop to not, right? We're going to look at hit to slop quality and how much is just for fans. Here's a great example, the for only fans archetype of a catalog where there's not really any hits. There's maybe one or two. And there's not a lot of music that's godright awful, but a lot of it is just stuff that the fans are going to like. If you're into the thing, if you're into Slayer, Motorhead, or Frank Zappa, you're going to love pretty much the whole catalog, get a lot of mileage out of it. But if you're not digging it, it's not going to be useful for you. But it's not like aggressive slop. Now, another example that's quite the opposite, the exact inverse, if you look at it, is someone like Weezer or Queen, where they have pretty much really good quality stuff that's for everyone, or complete utter garbage. There's very little stuff that fans like that's not just total garbage. Like, you know, the only fans who are going to like stuff that isn't popular or likable by everyone is the fans who are eating the garbage. I want garbage in my mouth. Them. Anyways, I think they have kind of a flat distribution, if you're going to ask me, honestly, Viagra Boys, because they have one album. I think the first album is kind of like a little more deady for me. I think the second album, Cave World, is like 2/3 B-side, 1/3 hit. And I think the latest album is actually 2/3 hit, 1/3 B-side. So on average, they have, an album in each, which puts them at about a 50-50. And they're in good hands, like Led Zeppelin, Nine Inch Nails. Doesn't mean good or bad. It just means how consistent or inconsistent are they? And, how much... And is that going to affect if people say, well, they have a lot of slop, so I consider them bad? That's why people would say, like, oh, Weezer suck because they have a lot of garbage. But they also have a lot of hits, so it's like, how do you determine if the band overall, it's easy to tell if a song is slop or not, but is the band overall, that's the tricky part. So this is where we're going to look at Viagra Boys. Now, I would honestly, in the brand department, I would give them a yellow. I'd give them a yellow. They kind of have this, like, ambiguous androgynous thing, which I guess works for their kind of thing. Not ambiguous androgynous thing, sorry. I mean, like, the aesthetic equivalent. It's a little too, for my liking, a little too, oh, I'm, like, trying but not trying. But, like, by not trying, that's, like, really actually, like, trying. But, like, by trying, that's actually, like, not trying. It's like they're trying to be not trying, but even if they're not, it's still, like, then it goes to, like, oh, I think I'm so cool because I'm not trying. It gets into a thing where it feels like it's ego. It's like ego's reeking off of it. But then again, that could be my own, that could be just a me thing, right? I could just not like it. And maybe I'm trying to rationalize why I think I don't like it instead of just I don't like it, and that's fine, right? So, but I would say, since this is my video, I would put probably brand. Brand's not fine. I don't think. What's the Viagra Boys logo? It's not. You're not getting a Walmart T-shirt. That's what really the brand category is, because this is, if people just care about brand and they don't care about songwriting or having, like, good parts that you want to learn, like, they don't have good parts you want to learn. They're not bad in this stuff in musicianship. They're just aggressively, like, okay at all of it. You don't know. You have no way of knowing. They have a saxophone solo. They can play jazz. Jazz means you don't have to know what you're doing and just hit random notes. Like, it's all, they're not bad, but they're also not like, oh, wow, I want to learn all the guitar parts. I want to learn all the vocals. I want to learn all the bass lines as a singer or as a person who plays that instrument, right? It's not like another band where you're like, oh, I need to learn that guitar part. I love learning Megadeth guitar parts or something as an example, right? Someone could use. But songwriting, I'm going to put them, I think because of this latest album, they're good. I really thought Cave World was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. I mean, there were songs on it that I was like, oh, I like Punk Rock Loser. But it wasn't like, I felt like this could either be the peak or they could be getting, turning into the band that I really hope they can become, right? And I think they did become that band. So overall, I'm going to say their brand is okay. Their musicianship is, the brand is a red. It's a bad. It's cooked. It's slop, right? Their musicianship is decent. Their condition, decent. It's a yellow. And their songwriting is going to be the only green I really give them. But now, are people going to call them slop or not? This is the interesting part, right? And I think you might be interested. You genuinely might be intrigued. And this is why I like these videos. This isn't just like, do I like them, do I not like them? Who cares if you like it or don't like it? What are people going to think? And how can you understand if someone goes, they're bad? You're like, okay, if their top 10 songs, which is normally what people think of, are pretty catchy, you're like, you're just being an a-hole, or you just don't like that energy level, in spite of the fact that it's catchy. It's not slop, you just don't like that genre. It's like, that's the difference between, like, you have to admit, there's some component of, like, objectively, the thing is catchy, or objectively, the thing is hard to listen to, or boring. Like, it's like, and that's where it's like, is this a person when they say, oh, they're bad, that just can't, like, can't just recognize, like, it's not for me, but it's clearly not awful, right? Like, it's clear there's something going on here that's, catchy, but I just don't like it. Like, is that the type of person who's telling you the band's bad, or they're slop, or they're good? Or is it someone who just, like, goes, no, I think it's not catchy. It's not catchy. Come on, be real. And then maybe you gotta go, oh, why? But if you like a genre, in spite of it not being catchy, that's fine. You just end up in the slop zone where only people who like that genre, in spite of the lack of catchiness, are going to say it's good. So what are my top 10 songs? Because people kind of remember, like, well, how catchy were the top 10? So for me, I go, I ain't your average dude, punk rock dude. Yeah, so I'm going to honestly say, like, you're going to notice this. I think they have like 10 songs that are really catchy. You can see eights, 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 nines, sevens, fives, a little in there. But on average, they're 7.7. But this is where they're interesting. People would say, oh, they're a punk band or they're a rock band. They're in this like indie punk thing. And I would say I bias towards the higher energy stuff. If anything, I'm being generous because though the production and the mixing, there's unnerving elements that are keeping you kind of like restless, increasing the level of energy. It drags on for so long that the energy actually lowers, it becomes so it becomes so monotone and hypnotic and predictable. There's the cadence to the thing that is only iambic pentameter Shakespeare. That thing kind of lowers the energy. So I'm being a little generous on the energy because I like to see people for the better of what they are. But no, for some people, that monotone thing might not lower the energy. For me, it kind of does because that's why I want some less predictability in terms of structure and things like that. Just a little bit of variety, Like a freaking Michael Jackson song, like a Beat It. Beat It doesn't change a lot, but it changes more than like a friggin' Viagra Boys song. So what did I say? I give them a 5.9. Yeah, and I think as they go on, they're getting closer and closer to being this literal like indie punk thing. They're closer to being, in my opinion, they were in this punk energy level, kind of bordering indie. First record, they're total just like punk slop indie thing. Then they move over here, second record, with some songs that are over here. And now I think they're like here. They're like pretty catchy pop indie with medium energy level. So like they're kind of like a little rough around the edge, caged elephant, but like it's like that's where they're getting to, and I actually like that. Like it's not rock good, pop bad. It's like that's not necessarily true, right? You're like there's good pop music that you like, you know what I mean? And there's also bad punk music you don't like, and bad indie music you don't like, right? So honestly, before I heard this new album, I was like, they're probably going to end up right in like the mid territory, and begrudgingly, though I think they had things going for them, I was going to have to put them in slop. But actually, I liked the new album, even though it's a little bit lower energy. It's really damn good. What was that one song? I forget. I gave it a 9. I think it's Pyramid of Health. God, that was great. That was an excellent. I know I've been joking around this whole video. That was a really good song. I really liked it. Viagra Boys, I know you're watching. Good job. You guys are doing good. You're doing good. I'm happy because there's not a lot of. Though I prefer to see bands, more rock bands because that's what I like more. Guys, I can't complain. It's a great record. That's a good record. I was really happy to see it. I thought it was much better. K-World was like good, but it's over here. There's a couple songs that are pretty catchy. It's just like, yeah, I don't think you got it yet. It hadn't clicked yet. Then I think it clicked. And that's really satisfying. So I'm really happy. Just don't go like Arctic Monkeys and then put out the car. Anyways, next video, Idols. Hint, Idols never clicked.